Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a crocodile cake topper. I made this one in a Facebook Live probably last year, so it's taken me a while to get around to editing this one for video for you guys. But we're using the Saracino pre-coloured modelling paste, and I'll put links below to everything that I've used in this video. So we're starting with a teardrop shape. The point's going to be the tail. So I'm going to roll it out, stretching out that tail, and then we're going to pinch up sort of towards the top of the body a little bit. So I made a collection of a few different sort of jungle themed or safari themed animals a while ago. During the first lockdown, I think it was really, we did a series of them during the Facebook Lives, and this was one of them. I'm not sure if maybe he looks more like a dragon than a crocodile, I'm not sure. But just twist around the tail to whatever position you want his tail to be in. So he's going to be sat upright, and I realise crocodiles don't sit like this, but this is how ours is going to sit. So we've gone for a paler green for the tummy, and you're going to stretch it out into sort of a teardrop shape that's flattened, and you're going to press it onto the front. So the wider bit will be near the bottom, near his tummy, and it'll get narrower as it comes up the front of his neck. And then we can just put some little indentations in across the front. I'm just using my Dresden tool. If you enjoy this video, guys, and you would like to see more of my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So once you're happy with the amount of indentations you've put in, what we're going to do next is we're going to mix some arms and legs. So we're going to use some little balls of paste. We're going to roll them into kind of teardrop shapes again. And I'm going to press them onto each side of the bottom of the body. So with the thinner part sort of towards the front, the thicker bit towards the back. And then we're going to take another ball, I'm going to cut that in half. And we're going to use each half for the feet. So where the cut line is, we're keeping that as the flat bit at the bottom of the foot. And then we've put two little lines in, and then I'm just trying to pinch together to get slightly more pointed toes. I'm going to put a little bit of water on the front of those legs to stick these on with. You can use edible glue if you prefer, guys, and then play around with the positioning. So the arms, we're going to keep these simple little shapes. So just little sausages, or you can go for teardrops again if you prefer. We're just going to push those on next to the neck. You could go higher or lower on the neck. It depends on how long you want the body to look. If I go lower down, it gives him a slightly longer looking neck. So for the head, we're taking a ball and we're going to pull out a nose from the front. Just check what size you like against the head first. So before you fully model it to perfection, just check roughly with a very rough shape that you like the size of it compared to your body. So the first one was just a rough one. We've then put a little wooden skewer through the neck. Now, you don't have to put the skewer in, guys. If you're going to put a skewer in, just make sure you tell people that it's in there, so not to just eat that. You can balance it on the neck if your neck is thick enough without the skewer. Okay, so for the head, we've pulled out the nose again, and we've pressed in some indentations for the eye area, lifting sort of the brow area up a little bit, and then I'm pressing down in between the eyes as well. Put some little nostrils in with my Dresden tool. So don't forget that I will put links below the video to everything that I've used as well, should you decide you want to use the exact same things as me. But obviously you can use different pastes and different tools as well. So let's put a couple of little lines, little creases, crinkles, creases over the top of his nose. Just deepening those eye sockets a little bit with my balling tool. Apologies, I think my hand just gets in the way of you seeing what I'm doing there. So I've gone for oval kind of eye sockets. I'm taking a little bit more of the pale green, which is the colour that I used on the tummy. It's kind of a little sausage shape that we're flattening out. And we're going to put this around sort of the bottom section of the face. So kind of wrapping it under the nose and bringing it up slightly onto each bit of the cheek. Then we're going to do an extra little sausage bit that's going to come under the nose there like that. So just filling in that bit of space. You can spend a while blending together the two pieces we've just put on. Or if you're happy with the seam, you don't have to blend it. So I've just got this little pointy tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in some holes where I want the teeth to go. You don't have to put the holes in, but I find if I put the holes in, the teeth sit in there a little bit better. And you can see I've put one hole in the wrong place. It's too far out, so what I'm going to do is just turn it into a scar. So this crocodile's got a scar. Let's give him another one above his eye. So the intention wasn't for him to look like the one in the back without any scars, but it's fine. And then we're just rolling some little points in white. So I've put point at both ends of the paste, and I'll push one side of the point or the tooth up into that hole. Let's press in slightly either side of the mouth where we want his smile to be, and then we'll draw a line from there towards sort of the teeth. Just make him look that little bit happier. And you can play around with the arms. As long as they've not had too much chance to dry, you can move them around into whatever position you want them to go. This guy's going to have arms up towards his face. So we want 2 little balls of white in those eyes, and it's up to you whether you want the same size eye in each socket or whether you want to have one bigger, one smaller. So this one's got one bigger, one smaller. You can see the one in the background has got 2 eyes of the same size, so go for whichever you prefer. We want some small ovals of black modelling paste, so it's just a ball that's squished or a slightly oval that's squished. I'm going to go nice and thin for a piece. It's just going to go around the outer edge of the eye. Just try and get it nice and thin. It's on there. Let's try and do the same on the other eye. So it doesn't sit as well if you don't get a nice fine point on both ends of this piece. And then I'm just using an edible white pen. I've got a really bad camera angle on this one, so you can't really see what I'm doing. Just get a close-up of my hand, apologies. So it's an edible pen. It just put white highlights in the eye if you prefer to do that rather than sticking white modelling paste in. But just bear in mind the white pens can absorb colour, so when I draw on black a lot, if the black is still very fresh even, the pen can sometimes absorb some of the black, so just watch out for that. Okay, so let's put in some little spikes going up the tail and back. Just going to roll these by hand, just kind of pressing a little shape. I don't even think it's a triangle really that I've made, to be honest. I think I would have probably been better just making little circles and cutting them in half and then sticking semicircles up his back. These are slightly more pointy than a semicircle. They're not overly pointy though, these ones, guys. So just keep going, and it's up to you whether you want to bring it up and over onto the head or not. I've decided I'm being lazy and it's just going to the top of his neck. And then if you want to add any shading with edible dust, you can do so. Just got a green that's slightly darker than sort of the pale green that's on his body and face. And we're just dusting that in between those little lines. I'm using these Silvia Mancini dusting brushes for this, but any brushes you've got will be fine. Give them a little bit of pink on those cheeks. So anywhere that's sort of more underneath or shadowed or between a little gap is usually where I would darken it with the colour. So there we go, and you can see what they look like in a different colour, a different shade of green. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out our Facebook Lives each Tuesday morning at 10:30 AM UK time to watch them in full length. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and more.